Yeah, you know what it is, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, IZM Sports fans. It's that time. 7 o'clock, the God Hour. East Coast. We set it off live and direct each and every week here over on the IZM TV platform. Thursdays is a great day for me. We do IZM Sports. I get with my brother, Mr. Wes Henderson, in the building. What up, Wes?
What's good, Hop? What's good?
Man, it's a lot good right now, bro. It's a lot good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a big day for us today. We got somebody special on, Mr. BREVIN KNIGHT, former starting guard for, a bunch of NBA teams. Atlanta Hawks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Bobcats, Clippers. He's been around the league, man. He's put in some work. I've had the pleasure, the honor of watching him grow and progress since he was in high school. Mm-hmm. Big shout out to TJ Whitaker, T-Wit, who was his basketball coach and teacher at Seton Hall Prep. So, Jersey, that's how we do.
Jersey all the time.
And so that's our special guest for this week. He hit me up. He's going to be hopping in pretty soon. And then we'll interview him, find out about Mr. BREVIN KNIGHT. And hopefully he'll hang around and we could discuss this year's playoffs and where we're at thus far with the season. He currently does color commentating for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes, he does.
He's been doing that for a few years. So, he's one of the best to do it.
And he played for a legendary coach at Seton Hall Prep at the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
What starts with a B? What was his name? Well, he's gonna tell us. We'll ask him, and he'll put us up.
Yeah, he's gonna let us know.
We don't want to play ourselves in.
Yeah, but we know that he played for. We know that his coach was a legend back in the day.
No, his coach was legendary, and yes. TJ had the honor and privilege of playing for that coach.
Yes,
that was TJ's high school coach.
Yeah,
and then he went to teach at Seton Hall, and of course, assistant coach, the same legendary coach that you're referencing. And we're gonna get into all that when we bring BREVIN on. But in the meantime, or the other way around, we gonna do what we do.
Yeah. BREVIN played. I think I want to say BREVIN might have played with the Lopez brothers. I'm not sure.
Wow. Oh, he just popped in. What up, Brev? All right, so listen, let's get the invitations going on. So, Brev, I don't know if you can hear us, but what we usually do, we start the show off and we start inviting people to the room so we make sure we have a lively audience. BREVIN KNIGHT is in the building. And here we go. I'm going to throw this song up, and we're going to get to inviting folks to the festivities. IZM Sports, y'all. IZM TV. Here we go.
Increase or relax social distancing and other mitigation measures they've put in place. The president's been itching to begin easing the nationwide guidelines meant to stem the outbreak and contain the economic fallout. Well, the weekly jobless numbers are out, and they are a staggering show of the early impact of the new coronavirus on the economy. Around 3.3 million people filed for unemployment in the past week, far exceeding the previous record from 1982.
This goes out
that I will use my right or the right
all my smoke. My dad,
I believe that I'll choose this life for the right to be free.
Set up that
believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420.
IZM in effect, hip-hop changed the game. Everybody smoke good, my grower changed the strain. I used to smoke for the thrill, now I do it for the pain. I stay pushing weight, I do it for the gains. It's like a revolution, Prince with purple rain. Purple kush, purple haze, like cheese in a maze. So I put lights in the tunnel, LEDs supply the rays. All we do is spark medicine, that shit is all the craze. Remember back in the days, trade bags of haze from the corner bodega. Poppy put it in some lays. It was rhymes in a cipher with blunts in the air. Then off with a shorty couch locked in a chair. My shorty look exotic, weed kinda rare. She said the weed was erotic with smoke in the hair. IZM makes the time go by, life without a care. So roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right for the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's for
I get redder than red men when it's time to Johnny Blaze. I get pounds from Sugar Hill, I get dimes from Sugar Rays. I keep the aromatic, it's a passion, not a habit. Akeem go with green, it's like carrots go with rabbits. It's so automatic how the weed gets lit. Duplicate the seed, clones get clipped. Hawk, what you puffin' on? I know that ain't the piff. Wedding cake and gelato, wanna lit? I got flavors, pump flavors, they call me Flavor Flav. Gorilla Glue #4 and Super Haze. Afghani in the cough, sour diesel gets me off. I'm looking for a rental property, something like a loft, so I can grow these trees just in time for Christmas. Saint Nick with the gift list, I know you wanna hit this. Look for madism when it's time to light a flare, then roll it up, light it up, put it in the air.
I believe in happy faces, yes, this is true. Love is just for special people, yes, just like you. If you're reaching for the stars, you know you can do anything you want to if you just get into the groove. I believe that I will use my right for the right to be me. I believe that I'll choose this fight for the right to be free. I believe I'll treat tonight like it's 420, like it's 420.
Chill.
Yes, this is true.
What really stands out to many are the one-time direct payments from the government. The Trump administration says they hope to start rolling them out in 3 weeks. The payments are based on your latest tax filing. Individuals who earn $75,000 or less will get $1,200.
Yes. That was, I Believe, Put It in the Air, featuring Carl Thomas, produced by DJ Heron. Big shout out to Shock B on the editing, direction by myself and Shock B. Big shout out to Growing Farms for participating in that, everybody who came out. And that's what that is. But this is IZM Sports. Got the homie Wes Henderson waiting on KG from Naughty by Nature. Hopefully he'll be popping in. Thurston Howell the third is in the building. 2 L's up. Big shout out to him. Thank you for joining us. This week, ladies and gentlemen, we got somebody real special. You know, we in the midst of the playoffs right now. Just figured out who's coming out of the West. Trying to see who's going to come up out of the East. So this next guest is like perfect because, you know, he's a legend in the NBA. You know, he's somebody special. Jersey, no doubt, Jersey homegrown. But he knows about the NBA life, and we want to bring him in, Mr. BREVIN KNIGHT. Peace, Brev.
What's up, man?
Everything's good, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Trying to get my connected.
Well, you bring Mr.
Hey, there I am. There it is.
There it is.
I'm good, but really, yo, I need that track, yo. That's what
I got you. I email it right to you. You got it. Without a doubt.
Shoot, I'm just bopping in there to that.
Nice. I'm glad I show and prove. We want to come right and exact. You know, after being away for so long, when you come back out, if you don't come right, you know.
Nah, you came right, Joe. You came right.
Well, you know, we got KG in the building. What up, K?
What up, y'all? Brad,
Yeah.
what's up? What's up, Brad?
What's good, fam? How you been?
All right, good, man. You know, Jersey, we up in here.
Shoot, Joe. That's why when T-Wit, who TJ hit me, it was like, yeah, they want you to get on the show. I was like, what? That ain't got to be no question.
Okay.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So, you know, we go back some ways, and we want people to know all about BREVIN KNIGHT, you know. So, you know, we know you from Jersey, but give us like the details, how you got involved in basketball. We'll put the battery in your back. Who were some of your early influences? I know Seton Hall Prep was a definitely a nationally recognized program. So we want to discuss all that, and you have the floor, my man.
Well, I think we got to go back even further before you even get to Seton Hall Prep, because like it's all East Orange was still where it all started for me, and for me it was Sovereign Park. Like,
I was about to say, y'all from
Up the
Sovereign
hill.
Park. Y'all from
Up the hill.
Sovereign over there, right?
Y'all down.
Up the hill.
Y'all down.
Yeah.
I'm up the hill. So we
Yeah.
that was every day, yo. Like, home was 703 Springdale. That was inside. That's where the roof was at, the walls. But home also was Sovereign Park, yo, and that was literally every day, yo. So for me, it was just trying to figure out how to get to the big court, yo. Like, I want to play on the court with the grown men. Like, that was like a lot of people in today with basketball, and I loved it from when I was 2-3 years old, playing on the hanger on the back of the door in the house with a rolled up sock, whatever it could be, yo. We was getting after it. But then once we was in East Orange and I got old enough to be able to go to the park, it was literally just about trying to work my way up to the main court, yo. And I think for a lot of kids today learn basketball, going to trainers, and then maybe being the chance to play against high level guys. But it's a lot of individual work. Well, our work was literally 5-on-5, 2-on-2, and figuring out how do I do what I need to do to be successful as a young kid. So by the time I got to Seton Hall, by the time then at Seton Hall going out to Stanford, basketball was easy because I had been playing with grown men since I was 12 years old. Like, and I had to figure out. I'm talking about grown men that wasn't like, oh, all right, don't worry, that's the young kid on there. It's like, shit, we trying to win. Like, and if you out here on the court with us, you're gonna get fouled like the other men get fouled. You better be able to call your calls. Like, if you want to be over here playing, you better be able to fit in with everybody else. So when it got time for me to play at a higher level, it's like, so I've been playing against these people, whether it was summer league, being in Orange Park, playing and Ron Nelson League, and that was the best to be able to play against that level of people from New York, from Philly, all throughout Jersey. And then, like I said, that playing at Stanford was able to go to Stanford after Seton Hall. That was just that. Honestly, yo, that was just to get a job. Like, it wasn't for no NBA. That was literally like, this is the best way for me to get a job and be able to move forward in life. And you know, things just worked out that the bug got put in my ear that after my freshman year, like, yo, you might be able to be a pro. And I was like, what? Like an NBA pro?
Who was the first person to tell you that?
Jason Kidd.
Wow.
He was the first person to tell me when we played against Cal. He was like, yo, if you work, yo, you could be a pro. And I'm like, if Jason Kidd can say this, he destined to be a pro. He's been destined to be a pro from finishing high school. So once if he tell me, that's like, shoot, yo, man, I might let me like go to work for real in this gym. And then I went to the gym. The first time I worked out in basketball in my life. I never worked out playing basketball. All I did was play. Let's go get it in. Just let's dude. We would get back home in the summers when I was being Stanford at times. They'd be like, we're gonna work out at this time, but we're gonna play at this time. I'd be like, well, I'll be at the playing. I don't want to do all that just work. And so it was, and I felt like that's what was gonna make me good. Now, could have extended my career because I've been better in areas, probably, but it was just, that's how I was built. I was just built on playing. So then from there, just enabled me to get to the league. And I tell everybody, once you get to the league, basketball becomes secondary. Like, for those guys, these guys that can play 16, 17 years and they still do it with the love, like watching a Lou Williams play or listening to Jamal Crawford talk about just the love, because they still play basketball when it's outside of the season. For me, it was a business. It was about, they got to the point where how can I get 10 plus years in this game so that from that point on, I can be set for the rest of my life, living and within a certain means. And that became the goal. So the love for basketball for me started in East Orange. It started when I was little. And then it allowed, that was the base to allow me to make a living off of it.
Wow. Well, now, so you talk about like those old summer league games, the
Yes.
old tournament. Name some of those leagues, some of those programs, because this is before AAU, right? Right?
Well,
This
AAU
be
was going on, but we used to have the summer pro-ams. Remember that used to be a big thing all over. Now they still have some that people play in. And I don't even know if we still do it back in Jersey, but Harry James, God rest his soul, he
Rest in
ran
peace,
he
Harry
ran
James.
exactly. He ran
Elmer
the
Park. I won at Elmer
yes
Park. Yeah.
exactly with Elmwood. But remember it started really at Orange Park. We was
And
at it was
Orange Park,
Elmwood
yeah.
earlier, and then we was at Orange Park before they went inside, and so that was that then and then playing down the shore. We would go down the shore had a pro-am league that they played at like St. Rose was a high school, and you'll get everybody from the area, from the tri-state area playing that, and that's where you made your name. Like that's where for me, I played against Rod Strickland for the first time. Was there, and the first thing he said when the game was over was like, "Yo, who's this little black nigga that keep touching the basketball every time I'm jamming?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
What,
know what I'm saying?
what about
That's the
Branch
way you
Brook?
get your name. See,
Did you play in Branch Brook,
I didn't
Brev?
play. No, I ain't playing Branch Brook a lot because I ain't like Branch Brook courts. I
Okay.
ain't like the courts for me. It got to a point where it was like I care too much about. I
Yeah, I
care
ain't trying
now
to mess up my
about
knees.
these knees, yo. At that point,
Yeah.
but early on, and I never got picked up. So here's the thing, yo. Like a lot of people don't realize, and why a lot of people don't know that I'm from Jersey is because I wasn't a big name in New Jersey in high school basketball to the masses. Like people that was in the circles around, they were like, "All right, yo, yeah, this little dude can play defense, yo. He steal the ball all the time, make good passes. Like he all right, though." But they had two other people in terms of point guards in the city that was ahead of me. So I didn't have I wasn't that the name like the people that were within basketball was like, all right, yeah, he good. He can play. But it wasn't, and so not until when I did get to Seton Hall and we were able to win the state championships and we were able to just keep winning Essex County championships or being right there in the final, that's when people start being like, oh, yo, Rev to play, yo. Like he
Who are
for
the
real.
who are the local guards, Brev? Who are the guards that you said
Shoot,
were what you talking about?
that was like Billy Lovett, Andre
Okay.
Adams. That was in the city. But then you goes like we had people like Allen Watson was coming up. Tariq, there was Tariq Goodman. Tariq
I know Al. I know
yeah,
Al.
exactly. Right, Al. So Tariq Goodman he was at Nortec. Um, it was a lot. It was just other people that they thought their style of play was better, which was the thing I always look back on it now and say like I'm happy that it happened because it kept me hungry. Like it was the reason why we were shoveling off the court in the wintertime. Tomorrow we gonna go out here and still hoop. And my mom be like, "Yo, what are you doing? It's freezing cold." I'm like, "Shit, mom, what else? What else I got?" You know what I'm saying? This is what I love to do. And so it drove me at that time to keep pushing forward. Like Elijah Allen was there. Elijah was playing down at St. Benedict's. It was there were a lot of people that and at that time I would say for what they did individually, they were better than me skill wise at that point in time. I just had a drive to win. That's what pushed me.
Now, talk about that Seton Hall program. We were trying. Your head coach at Seton Hall was
Bob Farrell.
Bob
Coach,
Farrell.
yeah, Coach Farrell. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And like we say Seton Hall's nationally recognized, even at the time that you played. Like, even before you playing, like Seton Hall always had a tremendous program. So, like, tell our people, about the Seton Hall prep program and how thorough you guys were.
Well, I always say I got this fight with my brother Brandon. He went to Seton Hall also, and I always we had these fights that I tell him we had the best teams ever at Seton Hall with the records that we had, with the teams that we beat, with the stage that we set to allow his teams to be good. I kept telling him, like nobody even thought about going to Seton Hall as much as they did until we won at the clip that we won after that. So we allowed you. I let all of those young guys. They had success, but let y'all know that y'all had success because we allowed y'all to have success. And
right.
so
Yeah,
Let them know. Let them know.
You had another EO guy straight up followed your path, like you saying, Marcus Toniel from Salvo
yes,
Park
sir.
and went to
Yes,
Seton
sir.
Hall Prep as well.
Yeah, yes,
You
sir.
know?
And Marcus,
Yep.
and that's so they all they all play with my brother. That's all.
Yep.
That's his crew. With
Yep.
what they were able to do, and they won a lot of games, man. They had, but what I told him always is, what y'all had better than us. Y'all had better individual players than we had. Like I would never take the talent of the teams that he played with would far exceeded the individual talent of our team, but they weren't a better team than us. Like we had dudes that just did all of the things they needed to do for us to win games. And I told him that would always be the difference. And the thing for Seton Hall Prep was back then we were in the Iron Hills Conference, which was we played against all city schools. So it wasn't just playing Catholic schools or parochial schools. We had we had East Orange was in our
high school.
was exactly
Go Panthers.
Before this big campus East Orange. This is when Clifford Scott was still there, and that's why a lot of people used to be mad at myself and Wardell Strickland because we both were supposed to go to Clifford Scott. That was our side of East Orange.
Right.
And so when we got to the Essex County tournament, we had to play Scott in the championship my sophomore year, and they were killing us. And we went out there and beat them by 20. Like, I'll never forget that. We beat them by 20 because I always say this, so it's the funniest thing. You know, at the tournament down at Essex County College, you would go in whenever we were playing. There would be one section that's down the middle that would be where all of our fans, which were predominantly white people, all sat in that middle, and the rest of it would be all black people. To the side, on the other side, doing the chant, stomping, all that. We just come out there, yo, and it should be so fun because we should go in there, battle, yo. It was fun, and the thing I always credit our fans was they never let that environment stop them from coming to games.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Like people would be like, oh, they probably, you guys, your fans probably want that. Yo, they was there every game, every day or night. Yo, in that section, cheering as loud as everybody. We just didn't have a chance. We ain't had a cheerleader. We ain't had a chance. So
they ain't had a swag or the pop, but y'all was there.
We couldn't swag like that, but no, we did. We fed off of everybody else's swag. It's like, what y'all doing right now really is fueling us because that's what we love too.
Yeah. You quieted that majority down. That's what you did.
And you know that's what you have to do if you're gonna have any respect in the county. You
but I told
gotta
you, I noticed you conveniently left out Columbia. That's why I went to high. That was quite convenient.
Hey, Wes, let me tell you my real quick Columbia thing is my dad coached Columbia for 2 years. And the one year he coached was my senior year, and I scored my 1,000th point against my dad. And this pops. And the thing was, Coach Farrell was like, "Oh, Brevin, I'm gonna take you out," because I was like, "Nah, Coach Farrell, I want my 1,000 against him, yo, just because he's trying to do everything to not let me get it, yo. So don't take me out. I want 1,000." And we got a picture after the game where it's me, Coach Farrell on one side, my dad on the other. And I know my dad did not want to have that fucking smile, yo.
That's what's
I know he did not.
Love it.
He was like,
I love it.
He was like,
oh man, that's hard body. That's hard
that's
body.
And I love Columbia.
I remember your dad took over for Columbia because we had a coach that I couldn't stand when I was there, Coach Riley.
Yes.
I was in school with Mark Brown when he was
Wes.
Mark Brown. That's Mark Brown.
OG.
OG. You want to talk about who those dudes that we give you the pass that you can come into the club, but we're gonna kick on your ass until you get ready to get to this point. Mark Brown was that dude. They opened the doors like, "B Knight, you in the club, but we gonna kick on your young behind, yo, to teach you these ropes, yo." So that's hard for me with Mark Brown.
Yeah.
Now, Brev.
Dennis Leonard also D-Rock at Union from Union County. That's another one who I for me I learned from playing against them. So I miss
well,
it. It brings back memories now.
that's yeah. Now, when I met you, Brev, you were playing high school ball. You were at Seton Hall Prep, and then to watch you go to Stanford, it was like we were so proud of you, bro.
Absolutely.
Like I got a chance to see it, up somewhat up close because of TJ's relationship.
Yeah.
And you're probably the first professional athlete that I know, like personally know, right? But that move to Stanford was huge. You got Ivy League setting,
Yes.
and you went there and did talk about those years and the, of course, the scholastic rigors of Stanford and how you maintain excellence and on the court and in the classroom.
Yeah, it was culture shock, yo, for real, to go out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? We from where we came from, when people talk about California, we think like, oh, this is about to be the finest women that you ever gonna see.
And there is
the sun, it is right. The sunshine, like this is about to be like the beach is somewhere nearby. Like, boy, this is good living. And then, I got out of Stanford and I was like, this is number one. This is too rich for anything that I've been around. I don't know, like all of this is. And this is not the same California, because Northern California is just a different climate, different temperature. And at the time that I went out there, it was that way. And I'm like, yo, it's supposed to be real warm, and this is not what I was thinking about. But then I I get there and I tell people the first couple weeks I was there, I got pulled over by the police. So immediately I'm like, here we go, yo. Brother can't even walk on campus. I'm a student here. So he's like, sorry, I had to pull you over because you were jaywalking. I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you, yo. I don't even know what that is. Like, the crosswalk was like a little further down. The gym was right here. I just crossed the street to go to the gym. That's what we don't walk to the light to cross the street to go across. Like, we just cross the street. He like, no, you got to cross at the crosswalk. I'm like, but the crosswalk dude is down there. I'm just right here. I look both ways. Like I did you know what I'm saying? I did the look both ways when the car's coming. Like, no, that's not the law. So I say that to say that's how much that world was so much different than than the environment that I had grown up in. And so even though we went to school at Seton Hall Prep, every night we went home to East Orange. So it's like, you go to school with those kids. Maybe you hang out with some every now and then, but what we do is always in the county. It's back at home. So to go to Stanford was definitely like, all right, I got to try to buckle down because I want to do well. And it was the first win, and then they don't do. So the other thing was they don't take attendance, and you can take a test anywhere on campus, open book. It don't matter, like whatever, but you just got to do it within the class period. I'm like, oh, how they dumb for doing this? I'm about to pass this easily, man. First semester, y'all went on academic probation. It was the first time in my life I had been anywhere near that. So I say that to say that's how hard school was, as hard as anything. But they put the onus on you to learn, not for us to guide you. And I think that helped me in basketball. It helped me in life because it forced me to grow up a lot quicker than I think I wanted to grow up. So for as much of it was a shock, it also was the kick in the butt that I needed to also mature as fast as I needed. And then the basketball side was just, I wanted to show people in my dorm that I stayed with thought that I was like on intramural basketball, like not on scholarship to be on the for real team. And they're like, don't the team suck anyway? And I was like, yeah, but we about to be good. And so, my freshman year, we finally got to NIT. And then from there, it was all NCAAs. And it was from the first season, everybody from my dorm used to come to the games, yo, sit in the bleachers. They would be doing homework, yo, in the bleachers. That's how much room they had. Books spread out while we playing a basketball game. I'm like, man, what's going on, yo? I'm like, y'all come to the game, yo, y'all can't do your homework. They're like, well, it's what we have to do. And the game is there. So by the time we got to our end of the sophomore year, people are now standing in line to be able to get a ticket. I get to my senior year, you got people camping out for big games. to try to get into the arena to get to games. So Stanford was great, man. I had great teammates, coaching staff, Mike Montgomery, and all of my assistants from there. Trent Johnson really had a big impact on me. It was just, they gave me opportunity to be myself. They needed something different at Stanford. They needed speed. They needed somebody that had a little swagger to their game, that brought an edge to the basketball court. So it was just, the timing was just right for me to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I remember reading clippings that TJ would show me earlier freshman year. Like, if Stanford does anything in the next 4 years, it's going to be because of Brevin Knight. Like, I remember
the
those
league,
articles,
the league was different. Yeah, the league had gotten faster. You know, you're talking about Damon Stoudemire, Tyus Edney. There's a guy named Kenya Wilkins that was up at Oregon who was fast. Brent Barry was playing a point and running at Oregon State with the speed that he played at. So the game was going this fast. Stanford couldn't play the slow down half court. They needed something to change. And like I said, I just luckily it was my number that was called for.
Dope.
Yeah. West K, y'all got anything?
So
I mean, I just remember the time, you know, like I said, I'm listening because I mean, you know, coming from East Orange, man, like watching it, I was just proud, man, at the end of the day, man.
And we adopted you because even though you was an East Orange head, you was going to school in the other Orange. So you was from Essex County, so we was all family. So everybody knew who you were. So that's all that was.
Nah, Wes. Nah, Wes, that's EO, man. That's just ours. That's ours. It's ours. It's only ours. It's just EO. It's a lot. It's the oranges, yeah, but yeah. That's ours.
County, man.
No. EO, man, it's ours.
Hey, Jay, listen, yo, on the little bio thing, yo, on everything I do, like, people talk and they'll be like, and from New Jersey and Livingston, New Jersey. I'm like, nah, yo. Listen, when they asked us on the bio thing, they say like your birthplace, like we're the hospital. I'm like, nah, yo, that was just St. Barnabas. Like, if y'all gonna just say stop saying Livingston, though. I'm not from Livingston. I never lived in no Livingston. I lived in Livingston for 2 days and they kicked my mom out of the hospital, yo. That was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Outside of that. So every time I do an interview and people start with that, I'm like, nah, yo, I'm from East Orange. And I can't let this go any further without letting East Orange still know that I know exactly where I came from.
Yeah. And East Orange is an extremely important place, you know. The birthplace of a lot of great folks, namely Naughty by Nature, you know. But you know, got the great John Amos, you got Dionne Warwick, you got, you know, Queen Latifah, you got, you know, East Orange, the Oranges, and Essex County. We're gonna give everybody a group hug, y'all. Come on, Wes. You get it, Wes. You can get it, Wes.
I mean, we just my Mark Bryant just made it to the finals. You know, he's in the finals, so you know.
That's right.
I'm not gonna killing you softly either. I'm not gonna say.
I give Mark Bryant because I love Mark Bryant. So I was Mark Bryant's ball boy when he was at Seton Hall, yo. Then my first year in the league, me and MB ended up on the same team in Cleveland. He became my teammate, yo, my rookie year. I was like, and you don't even understand how I'm tripping that. I used to be the little snotty-nosed kid that was getting on y'all nerves running around the gym because my dad was assistant athletic director. And now I'm out here, we running pick and rolls together. You helping me with the game. It's like, it's crazy how that entire, then I was team Eric Williams, teammates with him at one point. And so the basketball, and I tell people, so many guys didn't make it to the league that were still in the summertime. I used to be like, oh, I just do not feel like having to play against him today. Like it was like, I know I'm in for a long game. I got to for real strap up and go play today because it's gonna be that type of game. And so I wish that those, you know, sometimes you close your eyes, yo, and you can see those times again. You hear the DJ playing the music out there. I get a chance to sit around and tell people when it's Naughty by Nature or it's Channel Live. I'm like, yeah, I know that's from my area. I know that.
That's right. That's right.
I went to Stanford. Right. Remember, we used to have the beanies that had the ball on the top.
We had the ball on the top. Yeah.
Yeah. So had the strings that hung down. people should be like, yo, why are you wearing it? I was like, cuz yo, this where I'm from. I just can't wear what y'all wear. I'm not West
Right.
Coast like that, yo. I'm not. I'm not, yo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Now you went 16th in the draft.
Yep.
Like, how'd you feel? Like, how was that experience? Just being drafted, and the culmination of all this hard work, all this energy. How was that?
Man, that was. I tell people the NBA for me was a dream. It was never a goal, and I think that's what made me appreciate it even more because it wasn't always the path for me to make it to the NBA. It's just that the chips fell where they may. I worked hard enough to get there, and then just to be in that green room, sitting around waiting where you think your name may be called earlier, but I told my agent and my mom, we were sitting there, I'm like, hey, yo, we weren't supposed to be here at all. So whenever they call my name and we get the chance to walk across that stage, yo, I'm gonna be happy with whatever that number is because I mean, look what we're doing. We had the NBA draft, yo, and so once they called me and I got a chance to go and shake David Stern's hand and then do everything after that with the interviews and head off to Cleveland, I was happy because I was also going to a team in a situation I felt like would be good for me. So
Right.
it was like it was one of the biggest moments of my life, and I had got a chance to do it with my family, my girlfriend at that time, now my wife, because I don't understand how she been standing around with my crazy ass for these 20. We're going on 21 years now.
Nice.
God bless you,
Congrats.
bro. Congratulations.
Yeah. So to be with her and then to have a lot of my family came down. It was special for me. But I tell people it was still just in the East Orange way. Hugo Boss had sent me a suit to wear, but I was not ready for that super tight, like can't really move. I wasn't ready for that. I'm still, and to this day, I'm still not all the way with it to that extent. And so we had to go to Macy's, yo. I went to Macy's, had to buy me a suit, yo, straight off the rack that day to wear later on at night. And my pictures for the thing, my suit, yo, is like it's supposed to be for somebody else.
I know it's probably like, baggy hanging up off you.
Baggy. I told every time we look at it, I was like, yo, look, East Orange was even in me at the
draft. Crazy. Yo, Brett, how tall are you? 5'10", 5'11"?
We'll just say 5'10". Wow. We only do size with sneakers on, so 5'10".
And how did you do it, bro? At 5'10", playing in a professional league. That's like, I mean, like
I was always small, huh? You feel me? Like I was never big. Like sometimes when you little, you're like the bigger kid of the little kids, and maybe everybody catch up. I was never that kid.
Right.
Like I was still little.
No, I got as a young kid, as a small kid out there, you adjust. Like he said, he was always smaller than everybody.
There's levels to the game, though, bro. There's levels to the game, and you see it going from Salvo Park, the competition that was there. Leave Salvo Park, and you start traveling around. You see the competition that's there. You go to college level, high school level, college level, pro level. The jumps, I would imagine, are like incredible. So being 5'10"
and some taller people, like everybody's tall.
Everybody's tall. So yeah, I got you. You was always small, but what's your workout regimen really like? Like your training regimen? Did you have to prepare especially for the NBA, seeing as though people are bigger, taller, faster?
They weren't faster. That's the thing, though. They were taller, but they weren't faster.
Right. No, but in terms of the competition you're playing.
But I'm gonna tell you this much. Be for real with you, yo. I always felt like there was not one of them dudes was smarter than me. So like whatever you may have that's an advantage with your height, with your athleticism, I'm gonna neutralize it with my mind. Like and by doing that, that's gonna give me a chance every time I step on the floor. That was my mentality, was that every time you might beat me this time, you might beat me that time, but you're gonna turn around and be like, damn, he's still here, yo. Like he's still right here. And that was my mentality that I was gonna outwork whoever was in front of me. Like and so until I got drafted, like dudes I played with, they just be like, yo, bro, why you still getting so revved up for this guy? You got a name. I'm like, yeah, but my name is still not the first name. They still say Jock Vaughn. Like, they still not. I don't care. As much as I've done in this with this basketball, as much where we have gone, they still say Jock Vaughn first.
Mm-hmm.
And until they say BREVIN KNIGHT, you'll never see a day where I feel like, okay, I'm all right. And because even at that point, I still would have been like, oh, now I got to keep this name. But as long as they kept saying that name ahead of me, I was like, nah, yo, it ain't. It's not good enough. And so that was
Jock Vaughn at? Jock Vaughn was what, Kansas? Kansas, right?
Kansas.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Kansas,
Yeah,
yep.
Kansas. But then once again, I always tell people the league, man, it's why I never really have much to say when it comes to the league, because man, I had a business of basketball mindset when I got to the league, which I think hurt me a lot, because instead of just going and playing and being BREVIN KNIGHT that I knew I could be, I played the way that I knew would get me the next contract. And so it was and what I did was I made a 5'10", 175-pound decision. Like, that meant that there's not too many. There's got to be enough things that you do that they say is different than everybody else, because you don't have the size. You're not jumping over the top of people. You're not shooting threes at a clip. You're not averaging the same 16, 17 you was averaging in college. So what can you do that allows you to still have a way to get to that 10-year threshold? And why I say 10 years is because that's when you fully vested. That's when your insurance is taken care of. That's when your 401k is maxed out to every extent that it can get. That was what the goal was. And so there was my seventh. I think my first through third year was me, and then my 7th through 10th year of playing was me. Those other years was just a dude out there just playing for the business of basketball. And that's why I always, when we talk about like how'd you do it, I did it at the college level because I wanted it, yo. Like, I wanted it more than people could know, and I felt like every time I stepped on that court, I had to again prove that I was worthy of anybody saying that I was good.
Man. That's a great accomplishment, because if you think about it, like you're saying, for 5'10" to be in the league and to survive in the league for that long, you know, that's incredible. Well, you know, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's normal for those big guys, because you know everybody got room at the end of a bench for a 7-footer. Yeah, you know, exactly. But a 5'10" guy, you know, that you got to be doing something special to maintain that.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. I like your perspective in terms of the business of basketball, which is something that we fail to look at. You know, when we're looking at people play, these athletes, professional athletes play, and they move a certain way. You just gave me a whole new way of looking at basketball in terms of, you know, people have to understand the business and how you fit in more so than let me go get mine all the time.
Because I always tell them, if you want to go see these dudes be good in basketball, find out where they play at in the summertime, and then go watch them when they just playing for the love of playing, or they out there with them. Go watch them play basketball. At that point, you'll see why that guy that you like, oh man, that dude's a bum. Why is he even in the league? And you go watch him play in the summer, you're like, oh, that's why he's in the league. But there's a role that he has to play once he gets back to that league. Because if you're not one of the top 20 stars of the game, the rest of us are role players. Mm-hmm. I don't care what level you want to say. Some of us are bigger roles than the other, but we all just role players. You got to figure out what the role is that you can play, that not just the team that you play for, they love what you do, but those other teams that's watching, they're like, oh shit, we might be able to use what he does for our team. That's when you start to have more of a business mindset than just going out thinking like, oh, he ain't playing me today. Why? That's all, he ain't playing me today. Maybe a day I get to play, but somebody watching the way I do layups in the layup line, somebody watching when I'm sitting on this bench, what I look like with my body energy sitting on this bench. All of that is a part of this game. When dudes paying you millions of dollars, oh, they watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you a good question, because I trust your judgment. So you played from 97 to 2009. So in my estimation, you would have saw the end of Mike, all of Kobe, and the beginning of LeBron. Talk to me about each one of those boys?
Oh, see, that's not fair. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. That's really
Is there there's a little backstory?
Yeah. There definitely is a backstory. But before we get to, because I gotta take a bathroom break. I ain't even gonna front, and you can't even do that right now. So throw something else at the brother while I go take a break, and let's come back to
You
that.
can't. How do you interrupt that though? Like, I mean, what else you gonna? What are you gonna hold? What's gonna place on that, man?
It's just
I
please,
mean,
please.
That's a simple question.
Hold on.
You sabotaged it.
No. Hold that thought. Let me throw a question at Brad first before you.
Okay.
All right, so I can step off right. All right. I'm gonna ask 2 questions, Brad. Right? Who did you used to give that work, and who used to give you the work? And I'll be right back.
Oh boy, who I used to give it to? I don't know if there's a lot of people that I would say that I gave it to on a regular basis, because a lot of the times, like, we'll go back and look at some stats and I'm like, man, I didn't remember I scored like that in high school. Like, I honestly didn't remember the amount of points that I scored and the numbers that I did at that time, just because I was so focused on winning. But I can say the person that gave me the most trouble, especially back home, was Omar Cooper. Coop gave me a lot of problems outside, and why? Because not a lot of guys that was in the city back then could shoot a jump shot. Like,
I was just telling my nephew that the other day, Brev. I was telling him about Coop because we were talking about his son Sharif, and I was saying how Coop, Coop had the whole package. He could dribble and he can shoot.
That was the difference. So you couldn't. So I was all right with, I could back up and I was quick enough to stay in front. Dribble moves, I'm fine with you doing all of that. Then when you go to shoot out contest, I know you ain't gonna make it. He was different. And so that made it hard for me, because he had every dribble. You want fancy, he got every fancy move that you want. You back up, he hitting you in the eye with that jumper, every single time. And so I would say he was the hardest person growing up to defend. In college, Damon Stoudemire was hard. But another guy that people don't know, I mentioned earlier, was a dude named Kenya Wilkins that played at the University of Oregon. Didn't make it to the league. He was shorter than me, and he gave me fits in college guarding him. And then in the league, it was AI. That was the toughest guard.
Jeez.
And the biggest problem for me with him was the fact that he had the ultimate green light, Joe. Like, isn't commit. I don't care how well or how good a defense I was playing. He made it have a bad shoot. He gonna shoot the next one and the next one and the next one. And so that was, Larry Brown gave me a nice pat on the back and said he hadn't seen anyone defend AI to the level that I had defended him. I was like, well, tell him to stop making it look like it's easier than what it is while I'm out there running around as hard as I'm having to play safe with him.
East Orange is in the building, though. East Orange is in the building.
I'm not gonna back down from him. I'm gonna be right here with him.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna be right here with him.
Okay, Wes.
But the LeBron, let me go back to his other.
No. I just was asking the question. You played against all three.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get a story about each one of them. I wasn't going to ask anything about better and all that. I was just going to say, give me a LeBron story, a Jordan story, and a Kobe story.
Well, I'll start with, to me, who's the greatest, which is Michael Jordan. And the thing with Mike, what I admired about him was just the instinct to win, just the killer instinct that he had any and every time he stepped on the floor. And my rookie year, we played them first time we played them in Cleveland. We won the game, but there was a quarter where Mike went for 20 in the quarter. And close to 20 in the quarter. And it was Bob Sura, who played with me in Cleveland, Florida State. Bob Sura was the play.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Because we were playing well. Bob Sura, who I say is really just a brother. Bob Sura is the absolute brother. His mannerisms, the way he plays, talk, everything he did. And so he get the yapping, yo. He yapping, talking to Mike, yo. Man, Mike came out that next quarter, yo. he spanked Bisou's behind, yo, and the rest of our team, yo. And to the point where we always like, yo, Bisou, shut up, yo. Don't say shit else to this man, yo. Please, yo. Just be quiet. And so that I got a chance, you know,
Oh
he was towards
wow.
the end, but I got a chance to see a glimpse of that Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
With all right, boy. With
Kobe.
With Kobe, the thing with Kobe was he was, you know, when people are better, they're better than everyone. I had to cut off this phone. Okay, there it is. I had my phone trying to connect. The thing with Kobe was he was better than everybody else at the at the gym, but he worked harder than everybody else. And like to me, that was like thought, and to see him do it for as long as he did it, was like, damn, yo, that's a major feat to be able to play that hard and as he can and be as great of a basketball player as he was on both ends of the floor. And then when I got a chance to see LeBron, it was like, this is a freak of nature though. Like the physicality of what he can do in playing this game, and especially doing it from 18 years old, was I had never seen anything like it. The quickness, the size, the strength, the athleticism, the basketball smarts. And I thought that was what was different from him and Kobe and Michael. Kobe and Michael were straight assassins. Like their one track mind was just I'm just gonna murder you. If you give me the ball, murdering you. Give me the ball, murdering you. Where LeBron was like, give me the ball, manipulate you. He wasn't murder you, he was manipulate you. I manipulated this. I manipulated that. Now I kill you. But I got him going. I got, you know what I'm saying? So they are, to me, all great. I still put Mike as the greatest. But they did it in a different, LeBron, as everybody was saying, was more like Magic with a little more flair to his game than Michael. Like a lot of people say, oh, he's like Michael Jordan. Like I'm like, more like Magic, because Magic will jump up on top of you behind and hit you with 30 in a heartbeat. Also, like you know, he ain't have to just hit you with the double-digit assists and low number score. He could also get out there and score to hurt a team also. And so that's how I look at those three. And the one thing I can do is I appreciate each and every one for what they bring to the game. And Kobe, since God rest his soul, what he brought to the game.
That's definitely dope to be able to span across that timeline, you know, and to that was a good one, Wes, because I mean it ain't not too many people can say, you know, a lot of people can talk about it because they just watched it, but you actually had, you know, were there. Like
experience.
And that's
on the job experience.
He saw Jordan during his championship run, the second championship run.
Yeah.
He saw Kobe's whole career, and he saw LeBron
at the beginning.
I mean, from the beginning until 2008, when he was just about to become a champion in 2011.
Right.
So that's incredible. Who knows that? You know what I'm saying? That's like
right.
Yeah.
I got chills asking you, Brev.
Nah, man, just to even think about it in that way and not have to just try to rank them. Was a cool way to be able to talk about them.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yep, absolutely.
So, what would you say, you know, your greatest accomplishment was on the floor? Like what's something that you know, a game, something that you did that was just like
my 20 assist games. Those are always fun games. Playing in the Sweet 16 for me is next to shaking David Stern's hand playing in Sweet 16, being a part of All-Star Weekend in New York City.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Being
was
playing
there. I was
in the
there.
rookie
That was
game.
fun.
Yeah, yes, sir,
Uh-huh.
man. You know what I'm saying? Being able to hang out, and because I see myself as I played in the NBA, but like I'm not the NBA life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna be a lot of clubs. I'm not gonna be. It's not a big entourage. My entourage is my cousins. My cousins were my best friends, and then I got two other best friends that I met in school. That's like it's not a big circle. It's not a big fanfare. It was like, yeah, I played in the NBA, but it's like more so I just played basketball. I was lucky I got paid for it, but I'm not the average NBA guy in terms of like the notoriety, the fanfare, and because I really don't care about it. I didn't really all I wanted to do was I want to maximize how much money I can make in this game because I don't really care if you don't know me, but I want to be able to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. Like you don't gotta know my name at all, you know. But when we want to go on vacation, I want to go here. I just want to make sure I can go there. Or we want to go to this event and we want to sit here. I just want to make sure I can go do that. It don't have to be. Let's call ahead and say, hey, you think you can do this for BREVIN KNIGHT? Like I never thought of myself in that way. It was just I was blessed, Joe. I tell people things worked out. Opportunity presented itself. I was ready to grab the opportunity. Doors kept opening for me. And when that door got a little bit ajar, I'm like, oh shit, I'm going through it. Another door was like, oh, hey, here we might have I'm going through it. And that's the mindset that I've lived my life with.
Right.
So after basketball, you do color commentating for the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Like how is that still being affiliated with the game? Your knowledge of the game and how you can detail it got to be next level.
Well, it's fun, man. It's fun to get people that come up and say that they had a good time listening because the thing is, like, I still have fun when I call the games. Like, this is going to become all of a sudden some serious job. I tell people, I haven't worked since I had to be my mom's intern when I was at Seton Hall University back when I was a youngster. Like, I haven't worked since then. Like, I play basketball, and now I get to talk about basketball. Like, it's not a job. Like, it's not a job. It's just. It's just a great way to make a living, yo. It's a great time, and so that's how I approach it. People say they like that they learn something every game because I like to teach the game. I don't like to give you 100 stats. You can go look up all of these stats that you want to look up. You can be an analytics geek, all you want to be, but I want to tell you about basketball, why something happened, how it happened, and I want to have fun while we do it. And so it's been a great transition for me because. I'm still in the league, yo, and I ain't got to play. I golf on game days. You know what I'm saying? I do my production meetings from the golf course. And then I do my studying, and then I sit front row, call games. I can walk anywhere I want to in the arena. Like, that's what I get to do. Like, so this is shit. I got a great life, yo.
Royalty.
Royalty.
It's great to be able to do it with a nice young up and coming team. That's exciting.
Yeah.
We had 7 great years with our old group. We had some trouble years for about 2 years. It was like I don't like calling these type games. I only call from the day I started. We went to the playoffs. I only call winning basketball. Then we hit those losing seasons, and now to be able to talk about Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr.,
yep.
Jonas Valanciunas, Dylan Brooks,
yep.
Yeah, to talk about them now on a regular basis and the list. Then, and what really warms my heart is that I got my boy Kyle Anderson, another Jersey dude.
Jersey boy, yep. Slow mo.
And he out there. You know, I had a chance I coached him in a high school all-star game in New York back in the day, and we had a good talk at that point in time. And so to fast forward and be able to call the game, but also sit down and rap with him a little bit, to talk to his dad still now. So it feels, and I give him nothing but Jersey love Every
Right.
time he does something, yo, I don't do nothing but say Jersey.
Jersey!
every
All day,
time,
every
so,
day. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yo, so it's love, man, and I do it in a great place. I'm
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be East Orange is where I'm from, is always gonna be the birthplace, the original. But Memphis has taken me in as being almost like a son of Memphis. So
Nice.
it's I am very grateful that I can bring smiles to the faces of people that have supported me. So I've been living in Memphis, man, for 15 years combined.
Nice.
And so this has become it's a great organization, great city. I love the food. I love everything about it, man. It's my level of living. It's slow, but I can still get and do everything I want to do.
You can ride around and pump that poo shiesty.
Yo, you better have money bag, yo, ready
And money
just in case.
bag, yo.
Listen, you better
Yo.
have we sit there
Yo
just in
Gotti
case.
and all the people.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
you can
Just
bump it
just
all, right?
just in case, some you think you don't got it? Oh, I got it too. Yeah, it's cool, man. And the Memphis rap scene has been I'm not as having a 16-year-old. That's what keeps me as tied to it as I am at this point, because I still get in the car and I turn on my stream and it's still gonna be mostly all old school hip hop.
Eight ball and MJG.
That's I mess with them because I for real know them. The young dudes,
Yeah.
I may know them because they come to the games. We say what's up, but 8 Ball MJ, like I for real know them. But nah, for me it's still going back to what I listen to. I'm still an East Coast rap dude. Like the South rap is cool. Like I enjoy the beats that they come with, but I tell people I still like to understand what somebody is saying. Like I want like too much of a lot of this rap. Even I tell my sons like we connected on Rod Wave right now is the one dude that we connect on in some way. And so, but then he started getting to some of these dudes. I'm like, yo, the beat is cool, but I don't know what the hell he's saying, yo. Like
Yeah.
you got to put the closed caption up for me when the song come on.
Yeah.
Brev got the jokes. Got the joke. So, yo, bro, so, we know who's coming out the West, Brev.
Yeah.
Salute to Chris Paul. Salute to,
Yes.
Devin Booker, Ayton, the whole team. Who you see coming out the East, though?
Man, it went when Trey went down. I said, I don't. That's it for Atlanta. And then Milwaukee came out with a poor effort in that game just to give Atlanta life. And then Giannis, he goes down with the knee. I think it's back to a toss up, yo. I picked Milwaukee because I felt like they were the healthier team at that time, and Giannis looked like he had that mentality. But with him going down and giving Atlanta that little bit of boost, I'm gonna stay. I'm not one of those people that jump off their picks. So I'm gonna stay with Milwaukee. But Brook Lopez is gonna have a big game at some point in time. If no Giannis, then they're gonna have to have somebody else other than just Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. They need that somebody else, and Robin Lopez can be that other guy. But I emotionally want the Atlanta Hawks to win because I want Nate McMillan. I want to see two former NBA players and two black head coaches.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Be in the NBA finals, and it has just set the stage for, and what we've seen now is for more former players and African Americans to be able to become head coaches in this league. And I always say, it's not there may be the league may be 75% black, but we don't have 75% more better coaches because they were players in this game. Not every guy that played the game is a coach and is ready to be a coach. The jobs and opportunities need to be given to those guys that are also ready to do it. And what they have done here now is we're seeing that these guys are ready to do the job if given the opportunity. And so to see there be the final four, 3 of the 4 black head coaches that were former players with staffs that had major former players on their staffs. That to me was just like, I just sat there, and every time I watched. I'm like, and these are my contemporaries, so that's even better for me. These dudes that I personally know and have played against that are sitting in these seats, and that makes me the happiest.
Nice.
Dope. Yeah.
Nice. So I got Trae Young.
Trae Young. Special.
Special. Do you expect growth from him? Do you think his size will be a determining factor in his success long term?
Nah, man. Growth for him is all about leadership.
Yeah.
Growth for him no longer will be basketball skills. He can try to be more efficient with his skills, but in terms of what's going to take him to the next level is going to be the effect that he can have on his team on a regular basis. Can you affect winning with your team every night you go out on the floor, whether those are big numbers, not big numbers, but that level of maturity, that level of command of his basketball team, I think is the next when he masters that and understands how to massage personalities to get people to do what you need them to do because you can see winning through your eyes, then that's when you'll see him to me be able to step into that superstar realm.
I agree. We kind of talked about that last week when we talked about saying that he's kind of sort of taking a step exactly what you're talking about, Brev. He's taking a step towards that because we were kind of talking about him versus Luka, where Luka, is just dribble, just trying to get his own shot and just shooting almost every other time down the court. And Trae Young was doing that. And now Trae Young has started to get his teammates involved and they're starting to win games. And like you said, now just add the leadership to what he started, starting to change his game and to be, and there you go. Like he'll be there. And that is even showing that why Atlanta is as far as they are this year because of his change.
Well, and I think another big sign of that is, everybody talking about the little rift that he and John Collins, and that happened earlier in the year in terms of the amount of shots he was taking. He needs to be more of a point guard and distributor. Collins wanted to be a little bit more part of the team. For them to be able to figure that out, and whatever it may be, I don't know what the dynamic is. They could be the best of friends, but they came to whatever conclusion of how can we be the best for this team. And so I think for young guys, for the both of them to be able to grow in that way and to have a coach like Nate McMillan that's sprinkling, that's the guy that's stirring the pot at the head for them. I think all of those things have allowed Trae to take steps towards being that level of leader.
I agree.
Yep, and I think exactly what you said, that is like the rift and all that they were having. I think Nick McMillan becoming a head coach helped smooth everything over with a lot of that. And him being, like, listen, guy, like I can lead you the way I'm a former player. So he respects him from that. And, trust me when I tell you how you got to do this.
Right. He's been a successful coach from his time when he was in Seattle. They were successful in winning. Indiana, they were successful in winning. And Indiana will just kick themselves in the ass by firing him, hiring this guy for 1 year. They fire him and say that they think that what would be best for their team is to have a veteran coach. I'm just trying to say, like, how can you had a veteran coach, one of the best in the game. You let him go for a young guy, then you say that what would be good for your team is a veteran coach. That to me just it blows my mind sometimes when I hear certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
William Cup says Savo Park's best. East on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
The testing ground there, boy. Testing ground.
Yeah, man. So, hey, Chris, we don't want to hold you, but we're gonna try to milk you as long as we can get you. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of jewels. You got a lot of jewels for us.
No, no, I don't got to know, but in a minute going here and make sure. Shit, my life at this point for this month is running around with my son. He plays, and so between getting up in the mornings and working out with him, and then taking him to these other workouts, making sure that his behind is is doing what he said. He said he want to be serious about it. I said, if you want to be serious, yo, I'm willing to do all of the steps to put you in a position to help you be the best that you can be. So I like to make sure that I tell him, this is my investment in you right now, yo. You came to me with a proposal. I read through the proposal. You know what I'm saying? I saw what you told me at the end of the day. What your return can look like. Well, guess what? This is me keeping an eye on my investment to make sure that my return is what I would like. So that's at this point, yo. That's life for me in the summertime. It's over. It's just running around with his crazy behind in this basketball.
Man, I'm so proud of you, bro. Like those are the biggest rewards right there.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And fellas, Wes.
I mean, he answered my ultimate question. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you the backdrop that he wanted to throw in there before he had to go to the bathroom to excuse himself. Hakeem and I have been battling over the Jordan, Kobe, LeBron's talk since 2003 when he was the king in Hakeem's mind in 2003. But we just go back and forth, and we have a good time with it at this point. But they're all great in their own different way. I'm attracted to a different style of player, and I'm more of a Jordan, Kobe guy. I like the assassins, more so than the manipulator. But I understand the manipulator because I'm a Laker fan.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know it.
Yeah. My thing with LeBron is that I had never seen anybody from such a young age basically live up to and surpass all expectations.
Yeah.
Like
understood.
To see that and then to realize where he comes from, and a lot of it had to be, I was cheering for him but then, reality of what things are set in. And, my top 5 is Kareem, Mike, Magic, LeBron. I ain't figured that out yet.
You leaving Kobe off of that list in the top 5?
You can't leave Kobe off that.
Kobe would be Kobe. Well, that's 3 and 4, so Kobe would be 5. But Magic, LeBron, right there. I don't know LeBron if he gets another one, then these 3 solidified.
I can never argue with the Kareem. I mean, when people say like, how you put Bill Russell up there? The man got more rings than fingers. Like how we not? And I think a lot of that is just was it you just put Bill Russell on any team? Would any team be good? Like, or that good? Right, yeah. Would they be that good so they win like that, or was it just the mix of what they had, and he was that good to then now push that mix over the top? That's the only thing I would say. Like, to take nothing away from what he did in terms of the blocking the shots, the way that he was able to roll and score, the way that he was a vocal guy and a leader for their team, and this is all separate of the social issues that he did. Like sometimes we start to combine the social issue with the basketball. I'm just talking about straight basketball.
Right.
That's it. Like the social stuff. That's something else that he had to deal with, and that's a different subject. But just in pure basketball, that's the only time I get a little bit of the question for Bill Russell. Like everybody else, you see the skill and what they possessed as an individual, and it impacted winning. And if you put them on any other teams, they did the same. They would do those same things. He's the one person that gives me just a little bit of like,
and all of those, all of those guys kind of trailblazed and changed the game in a signature way within themselves. So it's that plays a part as well.
That's a good point.
Right.
I got a question for you. Like I always have a debate about the Hall of Fame, right? And since you said what you said about just basketball, it segues into it. Because I just feel like you said earlier that you got about 20 superstars and everybody else are role players, right? For the most part.
Hold on, Wes, hold on. 20 stars. 20. I only think there's only 5 superstars in the game of basketball.
That's even better, right? To my point. So with the Hall of Fame, it just seems like we dumbed it down. The other day, Paul George scores 41. They talk about Hall of Fame, and I feel like we just dumbed it down to the Hall of Very Good. And so if I see Jordan walking down the hallway with Reggie Miller, I love Reggie Miller. I know what he did in his career, but if they had to tell me who was a Hall of Famer, I'm looking at him like, can Jordan be on another floor? Can we set up another level, like a penthouse suite or something for certain people? Because you got McGrady in there, you got all these guys that I just can't.
Good basketball players.
Yeah, they're very good. I don't want to, like you said, I don't like to disparage anybody's skill set, but they're not great like you're like we're talking about superstar, star, and whatever role player. I just can't do that with the Hall of Fame, and it kills me to watch cats, because that, to me, that makes them all even, right? Because when you're in the Hall of Fame, you're equal, right?
Man, listen,
I think
go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Brev. No, you go ahead. You the professional. Go ahead.
No. Because what I was gonna say was, my thing is, we have to just appreciate that somebody was good, and that's fine. Like, it's fine that you were really good. We just make everybody has to be Hall of Fame. Everybody's not Hall of Fame worthy, yo. Like, and the thing about it is, Hall of Fame, that's just like the best of the best. Not everybody is the best of the best. Like, every year, my thing is, why we have to put 6 or 7 people every year? It's not 6 or 7 people every year that's Hall of Fame worthy.
Because it becomes a business and it's a show.
Yeah.
So you gotta find and you just pick anybody because there's a show and the show must go on. We have to entertain.
Yep.
Yeah,
that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
KD, exactly. I like that. What you're saying is what it is. Kind of what we're saying is kind of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, them dudes, you really shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. We like Robert Horry. Like, Robert Horry, listen, you were a good player. You happen to make a big shot every now and then on these teams. But why were you a Hall of Famer though? Like I mean, you got the rings you won, but I'm just saying, like, there has to be other criteria.
And I can even break it down even further than that, because I understand the NBA is different than the other 2 Hall of Fames, right? Because the NBA is about your basketball resume, college and pro, right? So there are guys that, like when people talk about Grant Hill was a Hall of Fame college player, and he had a 6-year span as a pro where he was top 5 in the league. So he got hurt. So I can understand people like him because of the impact that he had on the college game itself. I mean, it is supposed to be your whole resume. And then I always bring up the fact that Chris Webber and Shaquille O'Neal on NBA Tonight one day made me laugh, because they started breaking down talk about Bill Walton, and they just talked across the room, and there was a whole bunch of guys on a panel, and Chris Webber just yelled, Shaq yelled to Chris Webber, and he said, "C Webb, that man has 6,000 points, C Webb." and we got to fill in the blanks, because we're sitting there saying Shaq got like 28,000, Webber got like 20,000, and we talk about a man who has 6,000 points and he's in the Hall of Fame. You know, so it
blows my mind, yo. I say as I say, I'm not taking nothing away from, like, the people that made it. Listen, you're a pound on the back, and you made a question. I'm congratulate you, but the criteria for getting in, you put it the right way. Shit has gotten dumbed down, yo, ridiculously.
The show is entertainment. The show must go on. That's what it is. So you know what? We have a show, and we have to find somebody to fill these slots.
Right. Hey, I mean, that's what we do, because every year.
And then you have a headliner, right?
I'm like, why we gotta keep putting 6 people, 7 people every year? Like, why do you keep doing that?
Nah, you could make the mystique of it about the fact that there's only 1 or 2 people. Maybe there's 5 or 6 one year, but who's gonna be those 2-3 people?
Right.
And make it that special. But
that's crazy you brought that up, because we talk about it all. I talk about it all the time, yo. Like, a lot of times people be like, "Oh, you hating?" I ain't hating on nobody, yo. I'm not taking nothing away from. I'm not taking nothing away from that person is good. I just feel like the Hall of Fame should be the cream of the crop. Eventually, the Hall of Fame going to be half of the people that played in the game.
It is.
That had some affiliation. You're going to be in the Hall of Fame. It is.
Because it got to a point. It got to a point where, you know, that I think it comes to a point where they look at it like, you know what, this person played for a team and he stood out for that team for a certain amount of years, and they automatically just catapult them to being a Hall of Fame player, for just playing, just standing out for your team, and it's that don't make you a Hall of Fame player. That made you a good player for that particular team, but that particular team may have sucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's my other question for you.
That was a good. I'm with you on it. You 100%, Joe. It's the same way I felt about the all NBA teams from this year, the all defensive team. Hey, who in the hell picking these teams? Y'all putting people on these. Y'all not putting them on the all teams for what they did this season.
Yeah.
Y'all putting people on these all teams for reputation.
Yeah, it's reputation. That's all because Jason Tatum was definitely worthy of being in there, and we had guys that played 40 games versus guys that played 75.
How Donovan Mitchell not one of the all NBA teams?
Exactly.
But you put Jimmy Butler on the all. No knock on Jimmy Butler.
No.
Jimmy Butler didn't do nothing this year.
This was a down year for Jimmy Butler. It was horrible for Jimmy Butler this year.
Why is he on there? I'm just saying because to me it's for this year. Like, what have you done this season? Not what you've done over your career for this year in general. What have you done? Like, I look and say Giannis. Like, why is Giannis first team all defense? I've never one time seen anybody playing the game and they're like, yo, they gotta stop this. Put Giannis on them. I've never heard that.
No.
And it was put on Broad Street this season when he went up against KD. And they're like, you the so-called defensive player of the year, and you won't even stick KD not one time in not one game. And they played a 7-game series. It's like, and you can't stick this guy not one of the games.
So nobody's saying it, in his ear, like, yo, man, why don't you don't want that work? Yo, you need to. When he come on your timeout,
you don't need to say it in his ear. He's supposed to step up and say, you know what, we got to win this game. I got him.
I got him. I was defensive player of the year at one point in time so that's what I do. But that's the thing is, no knock on him. They want to give you the recognition and the accolade. Keep taking it. All I'm saying is, at least let it be something that's seen. I don't know. Maybe I tell people, maybe it's me. Joel Embiid. When the hell did we ever talk about Joel Embiid being a defensive stop? When?
Yeah.
I
agree.
I agree. When have you ever said, Joel, when we need a defensive play, yo, Joel Embiid, shut that big guy down? That shit has never been said.
I mean, it's because first of all, there's
BREVIN KNIGHT keeping it 1,000 right now.
He's right though. He's right.
Look, Joel Embiid to me, when people said MVP, I say he was the MVP of the season. But what he was able to do, and Carey had nothing against Jokic, he won, and I'm like, hey, it's a toss-up. Either one of them, that's a toss-up for me. But what I'm saying is, let's just be real about the show. When the fuck have we ever talked about Joel Embiid and defense? That shit has never happened, bro.
No.
It's never happened.
No.
I think people try to sell us on stuff now, the product, because even with Ben Simmons not take the offensive stuff away, but the argument was always, yeah, but on defense, man, you can live with that because look what he does on defense. And I'm watching the game too, and again, he's not he might be playing better defense than a lot of guys in the league because no one plays defense, but he's not the guy that's going to shut anybody down because essentially it's you're not going to shut many guys down anyway. The way you stop guys is to score, you score on them.
Right. Exactly. The rules of the game are such. But at least I can see, like, when you tell me Ben Simmons, I can see because he's versatility. Drew Holiday. I see where you going with those names. But it's just some of these other ones, I'm like,
Brev, how would you fix, quote unquote, Ben Simmons?
What he's going to another team. First off, you gotta go to another team. Mm-hmm. You gotta get out of Philly. It's still the scrutiny. The scrutiny is too much. It's too much. And the thing what I would do is stop worrying about shooting threes. Fuck threes. We ain't worried about no 3-pointers, yo. Make mid-range jump shots. Make mid-range jump shots. Play in the mid-post. Catch the ball at 12 feet. Turn and face. If they off, I can shoot a 12-footer. If not, I can rock you one way. He's ambidextrous. Finish with both hands. So now all you need is exactly one dribble. I'm at the basket. They come double team. Here's the other thing. They come double team. It's a longer rotation when you double somebody from the post area as opposed to doubling someone out on the floor. So you have to double him from the post. He's a fantastic passer. Now you got divers to the basket. Now I can start the swing action to get a corner three on the other side. I would make his game be more 15, maybe you want to say 18. But I'm really 18 feet to the basket. That's your game. Like, that's what we're going to work on. 18 feet to the basket. And from there, keep playing good defense. Keep pushing the pace with the ball in your hand, with your size, the way you see. We'll take that. But fuck them threes. Like, forget what everybody talk about. Jump shot. No. Forget all that, yo. We're going to work on these shots right here. We're going to worry about getting to the basket because what he needs at this point is confidence.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a game. They got to make sure that you have him in a confident mindset for him to move forward.
Yes, that's absolutely true. He doesn't have any confidence right now. So
now you just said something that I know Wes is ecstatic right now because he's been preaching this all year, and that's the mid-range game.
Yes.
It seems not all like year, not all year. They said analytics. I've been going crazy since analytics came into basketball. I was just like, what the hell? Right. We still scored 3. Right. So,
but we're seeing a resurgence. Some folks out there in the league that's dedicated to the mid-range game. So your thoughts on that part of the game. Is it missing? Do you see it coming back? Is it enough of it?
I tell all guards, you better have a mid-range game because right now defenses are predicated to stop threes and layups. They are giving up every mid-range. We watch it every night. People say, when is the big gonna get up on the screen? Why is he just laid back? The guard coming off and getting rhythm shots because the analytics say that those are bad shots. So we'll just keep giving up the bad shots to say that we'll give up that shot to say, well, we just stopping the extra point on a 3 and we stopping the easy shot and we're gonna take the numbers game. I'm like, look, if I'm an offensive guard, every day I go to the house, to the crib, I'm working on every mid-range shot because of the shot that they give me. So I never got into it. My thing is there's not, if you go and look at the top scorers that ever play in the NBA, not one of them is a 3-point shooter.
Nope. And look at Phoenix. Phoenix mid-range, they way to death to the championship.
Exactly.
That's all Chris Paul do is come off on that elbow. All Devin Booker do is dribble to the elbow. That's it. And everything else is kickouts if they don't have that. But everything is started and it's built off of the mid-range. Look at Kawhi. Even look at KD. KD shoots, but KD is straight mid-range. Yes. Most of his shots is all mid-range pull-ups on you.
The biggest problem they have is they have a lot of guys in the NBA that shoot the 3, but they don't have any 3-point shooters. It's a difference.
Yeah,
because it's all volume. The game, the league has turned into just volume. And the thing I say is, all of the top scorers, they score at every level. They score getting to the basket. They score in the mid-range. They score if they got to shoot out the 3. There's some that'll shoot the 3 better than others. But that's what complete basketball players do. Not everybody standing out and just shoot 3. No, the one thing I sit and watch, yo, the next time you watch a game, even watch with kids or high school, watch how many damn people stand around the 3-point line and shoot during warm-up the entire time.
Shoot. I play Brev. I be playing pickup still. And I be looking around sometime. I'm dribbling in the middle and guys are standing on the 3-point line. And I'm looking at them like, why y'all all on the 3-point line like y'all 3-point shooters? Man, what are y'all doing?
Yo, it's the I tell my partner when we sitting there before the game, I'm like, yo, Pete, look at how everybody shoot. There is literally only the people that don't have a basketball are the ones that are in the paint waiting for a missed shot or the ball. Everybody else is standing at the 3-point line, yo.
Yeah.
And to be
It's going
honest,
crazy.
and what they're doing is blaming on Golden State because it started with the Splash Brothers, everybody chasing them, and like you said, the analytics. But what part they don't even realize is Klay shoots a lot of mid-range jumpers.
He does.
Klay Thompson, and I think and we missing it because he's been out. But Klay pulls up all the time in the mid-range.
Yeah, he does.
Steph gets to the basket, the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
they can both shoot mid-range.
This is what makes Trae Young so good. It's not the 30-foot threes. It's the fucking floaters, yo.
Yeah.
It's the get into the paint, draw a defender, kick it out. That's what makes Trae. That's why he was good in Oklahoma. Like when he was in Oklahoma, we sat and watched. I'm like, yo, this dude gonna be a fucking fantastic pro. And people were like, oh, too small. I'm like, man, do you see this dude gets where he wants to anytime on the floor, and he passes with both hands.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell you, y'all keep looking at this side. Man, listen, can a nigga play basketball, yo? Like that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't care about all that other stuff. Can you play basketball?
Can you play basketball, dude?
That's another thing too. Another one is like that too. Is Ja Morant? Like Ja, he comes with that floater a lot, and other than that, he's going to dunk on you or he's laying it up. He shoots threes here and there, but he don't rely on the three. Ja don't shoot a lot of threes. Most of his stuff is all floaters. He don't have to. Right.
You don't have to. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, why do something for what? To prove to some fucking people that sit behind a computer and type these numbers in all day? Nah, nigga, like this is not. It's not football, yo. It's not baseball. The difference in the sport of basketball that it is always motion. It's perpetual motion. It is. This also becomes there is a level of relationships that go into basketball. Like, if I really don't like you for whatever reason, and I pass you the ball 1 second late, now you ain't open. So that's the shot that you make the points in, but I ain't get you the ball at the right time. Like, there's so many other things that go into the game other than let's just try to punch these numbers and punch these numbers. Yo, the numbers we've given it a name in analytics, but coaches and people in basketball have been analyzing numbers forever. Like the analyzation of numbers did not just start out the blue. Like it didn't just all of a sudden be like, oh, analytics. Nah, we've been doing this forever. We've been looking at where we score better from, what this like you've been doing. Only thing y'all have done is you guys have just like inflated it to where now you got numbers about everything. If he take 2 steps to the left and then reverse spin back right, he shoots the ball at 32%. Man, what the hell is that? I ain't got enough time to watch how many steps he's taking. Did he reverse spin or did he go between? I'm not watching all of that. But I'm good. So it's man. At the end of the day, I tell basketball will still be. You can try to come up with all of these other ways to try to explain that. At the end of the day, yo, it comes down to: do you box out? Do you pass the ball to the open man? Do you communicate on the floor? Do we all play together as a team? Do you have guys that are gonna make shots? Then you win basketball games. You can try to do you can come up with all these other ways, but at the end of the day, it's why every year we get to the playoffs and teams get there. The first thing they say is, man, this would be good if this team had a point guard. But all year you ain't really want a point guard. You wanted that dude that just shot the ball every time, scored all the points. And then when you get to the playoffs, now it'd be nice if we had that guy that could just orchestrate, set things up. It's like, yeah, you guys contradict yourself.
Right. Or you have those games where people just rely on threes, and that's why you have a game when they get blown out by 40 because now the three not dropping, and you don't do nothing else but rely on threes, and now you lose by 40.
Yeah,
and that's what happened to Utah. That's why Utah couldn't win. See, Utah, no Mike Conley to give them another playmaker, and they could only do 2 things, which was shoot threes or get Gobert rolling to the basket. Or Mitchell would just make it happen himself. As soon as you take away, as soon as you force it, people are like, they're playing so small. Why don't they just throw the ball to Gobert side and post up? No, I kept saying, have you ever seen Rudy Gobert have to do a post up move?
Never.
I've never seen Gobert shoot a jump shot. I was saying that. I was just like, Gobert don't even shoot jump shots. And that's what I was saying. I was talking to my wife when we was watching it, and I was telling her, I said, Phoenix is going to be a totally different game because Ayton can shoot a jump shot versus Gobert. She was like, well, won't they do the same thing that they did with Gobert? I said, no, because Ayton can shoot a jump shot. Gobert ain't done. You ain't worried about Gobert shooting no jump shot.
He could play with his back to basket.
But and they will throw the ball to Ayton. There are times where they will throw the ball to him in a back to basket. And I think he has back to the basket moves. What I'm saying is Rudy Gobert, it's not part of his game at all. So everybody people would get up in arms like, just throw the ball to Gobert. I'm like,
no.
Why? Like, what's gonna happen? Tell me one post move you've ever seen Rudy go. They throw the ball, he back down, threw a jump hook, back down, reverse spin, jump. I've never seen it. It's not his game. So only thing the Clippers did, they did a great job of saying, we don't gotta play big. We can switch guards on. And people like, he got Reggie Jackson defending. I'm like, yeah, it don't matter. Like, if it's not a lob to the rim, he's not scoring.
He ain't scoring.
Absolutely right.
And you only got 3 seconds in there, so.
When you put up Chris Paul, we said Chris Paul, he was talking about the mid-range game, and I guess like when they clinched the series before this one, and he was just saying how defenses are only geared towards stopping the three. And so last night we watching the game, and I called Hawk, and it was a play. They had stolen the ball, and Chris Paul went underneath the basket, and he put it behind his back. And Morris
ran out to the three. Yeah.
Chris Paul was standing in front of the basket. He just looked at him like, "Are you going that way? So I'm just gonna stand here with nobody around me."
And shoot like a 7-foot jumper, like wide open.
It's in the half court. So I'm like saying, wait. How can he have a wide open look in the half court in the paint?
Yes,
because Morris ran to the three.
Because they're used to that, guys. They're used to that, guys coming down flying and almost having a layup and just kicking the ball all the way out to a three.
That's a crime right there. I was sitting there saying that is stupid. Like,
horrible basketball.
I mean, I know he put the ball behind his back, but it wasn't like a freakish move or anything like that. This dude just jetted to the 3-point line and ran past him like, I'm gonna defend here and let you have the rest of the area. I'm like, okay, I don't get it.
Hold on 1 second, Wes. I'm sorry. To that point, and you're gonna like this, Wes. The right play. There are times when we expect players to make certain plays, but instead they make the right basketball play. If you know what I mean.
Yes,
I got you.
How legitimate is that argument for real?
Well, I think that's a time and situation argument.
Yes, it is.
If you are the go-to guy and it's a late game situation, then I'm not gonna put the role guy in a pressure situation over me being the guy that takes it if I'm the man. And I always kind of equate it back to college, and because that's when I say like that was the ultimate. I'm the man. I believe that I can make this shot over this contested hand and a half a man over making you have to try to make this shot with the burden of this game. I'm not gonna put that on your shoulders. I'll take that. And so I think that it kind of depends on the rhythm of the game, and then also has that guy been playing well? You know what I mean? Like has he been making that shot? So
when's the last time he shot the ball? When's the last time he shot the ball?
Right. Then I believe that I'll go to him. I'll get to him again, and so I think that's that for that is it always. I always tell people that's a time and situation answer. If it's in the first quarter of the game, then make the right play. Right. But I don't know what I'm gonna need you. I make the right play. Now we get down to the fourth quarter, 10 seconds. Yeah, the right play might have been to him, but I'm the right play. Like the reason why I'm the star of this team is because I'm the guy that's the more skilled player. So I'm gonna exhaust my option before I now throw it to you.
Hey, Hop. It's like you in the park. It's 14 up, gang. Point up, and that one dude is to the left. He's wide open, but you know good and well he ain't making that. So you ain't passing him the ball. By no means is he getting it.
Hey, KG, you know why? Because he the dude with the matching outfit.
Exactly.
The matching
Exactly.
outfit, dude. You ain't getting the last shot, yo.
Nah.
The whole Nike, you got the whole Nike Air top and the bottom
Yeah.
match.
No.
Nice.
Nah.
And your
Nah.
sneakers real good.
Nah.
Your game is whack. If
Nah.
you
We had point up. We had point up. And through this game already, you don't walk 3 times during the game, and you don't shot 3 air balls during the game. I am not giving you the ball.
Yo, you the defender, yo, play hard D, yo, rebound. Let's go, yo, we need you. That's what I used to tell them dudes, yo, we need you. You know what I'm saying? We need, let's go.
Yeah.
Don't shoot that shit, though. Hey, we pass it to you. Come back, dribble handoff.
We need you.
That's a good. I mean, like you said it perfectly, because when you look at, like you say, about when somebody makes the basketball play, and like when they show the Jordan play to Steve Kerr.
So Steve Kerr, yeah.
Yeah. The highlight, when they show the highlight of it in the interview, like when they're talking on the sidelines, the play is actually drawn up for Jordan, right?
Yep.
And he says to Steve Kerr, if they double, I'm coming to you.
Yep.
But people act like Jordan, like the play was for Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr already knew it. Jordan didn't say, I'm coming to you on this play. The play was for him, and if that's the basketball play. So, but Kerr had already made 3 other baskets in the fourth quarter in that game. He only had 9 points in the fourth quarter, but he made 3 of those buckets before he made the 9th point.
Right, and Kerr said it, and Kerr told him, he said, I'll be ready, and I'll be ready.
I'll be ready, because he had already gotten to the flow in that fourth quarter with 3 buckets in that at that time.
All right, but hold on for a second.
Yep.
Because Scotty got a book out.
Yeah.
And he said that was for the cameras. He said that was fugazi.
You heard it out their mouth, man. You heard it out their mouth.
But, you know, what he was implying was that it was that whole thing was staged for the camera. That there was really something else going on in the court that just coincidentally ended up the way they said, but that was all staged.
Yeah.
That's the. And I mean, you know, he was there.
Come on, Scotty.
I don't know. He was there.
He's also not there sometimes as well. And
yeah, right.
But I understand what you're saying. But yeah, that's a good point. And I even think about what was the Game 7 Celtics and Lakers, 6 for 24, and Kobe gave the ball to Artest to make that 3-pointer. And Artest made 2 other threes in that fourth quarter that people forget. Again, he was in the flow of the game, so it made it a good basketball play at that time because they was in the flow of the game. So makes sense. Makes sense.
I got the East Orange legend, Mr. Errol Flanagan. Pearl, what up?
Pearl.
he said Pippen hating right now, huh, Pearl?
He right.
Pearl. Elmwood Park.
Real quick, Brev. Last night, Pat Beverly.
Would he have gotten a 2-piece after that? Oh, it was you, Brev?
I was more mad at Frank Kaminsky. Everybody see what Frank Kaminsky was?
Yo, man, come on, man. You supposed to.
No, that was Devin Booker. That was Devin Booker's invitation to get him back for a headbutting him in the nose. Devin Booker was right there. So Devin Booker should at least shove them to get him back, like a little bit of something. Because if the game's over, if anything, all they gonna do is throw Devin Booker out for that one game. Like that's it, and be like, "Yo, you out too."
Yeah, but you don't want Devin Booker going out.
Nah, the game's over. You up by 25.
Because you don't want a suspension in the first game of the series for the next game.
It wasn't the guy suspended from that. He would have got kicked out of this game, and that would have been it. That was Devin Booker's invitation.
But when you're dealing with Pat Beverly, it could turn into the Malice in the Palace real quick. Because that dude is super reckless.
He is. He's out of control.
He's super reckless.
But my thing is, it's just like, yo, Pat Bev was talking crazy all series and even talking crazy in that game. And then now, you know, it's time for you to go on vacation, and now you mad.
Yeah.
That whole thing, I just that whole situation, yo, was crazy, because my thing is I like people to be, I like toughness in that way. But that to push somebody in the back, yo, to me, like if we talk, like if you're gonna do something to somebody, it's always face to face.
Yeah.
Like we ain't gonna, like
Right.
That's how it's gonna go down. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, we gonna have this out face to face. It might not have to get physical. It can be a regular talk. But that in that case, I'm like, yo, you could have done better than that. And KG, to your point was, no way can you have Devin Booker missing game 1, yo, of the NBA Finals because he was sticking up for what's called that at that point in time. Like in your heart of hearts, you want to, but you need like Sarge to do that.
Frank the Tank could have did it.
Exactly.
Nah, he watched it happen. Kaminsky watched it. He was standing right there.
Shove. He gave him a little shove, but he watched it happen. He should have grabbed him up and held him up for somebody else to.
Man, he should have whopped him.
Moses Malone on Larry Bird back in the day.
He should have held
him up and Doctor hit him, and I was like,
he might have given him the Kerr. He might have given Kermit Washington on that joint. That Joker.
Hey, guess what? Guess who they weren't trying? They ain't tried Jay Crowder like that.
No, they sure didn't.
You know what I'm saying? He tried. You want to try Ayton? You want to go after Chris Paul? Yeah, Chris Paul. He beyond all of that. He ain't worried about all of that stupidness. You ain't do that though to Jay Crowder. Y'all ain't go doing that to him. Like,
and that's why Jay Crowder was out there poke Paul George in the eye. He's like, yo, y'all want to get physical out here? Take this poke.
Oh man, this been good for me, man. I gotta get this. I'm getting this in this gym, man.
Yes, sir, man. Totally appreciate your time, Brev, man. It's been dope, bro.
Anytime,
man.
Yo, salute.
Anytime, man. Yo, please have me back on again, yo. I love
man.
This.
Well, we're gonna check your.
I love to do this.
We're gonna check your schedule, babe. Get you back here before these playoffs is over, bro.
No
that's
doubt,
okay.
Man. Just let me know.
Yes, sir. Salute.
Hey,
thank you, Brev.
Definitely. Great talking to you, Brev, man. Be safe, man.
Man, no doubt, man. Appreciate having y'all, man. Stay up.
Yep.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right, peace, man.
Late.
That was dope, Brev. That's dope. Man.
Yeah, that was a good look. Big shout out to TJ Whitaker for making that happen. T-Wit, East Orange, New Jersey. If you didn't know, now you know.
My favorite point guard. Always gave me the ball in the right spot.
Shout out Earl the Pearl, too. We got Pearl up in here, Earl Flanagan. Shout out Pearl.
We got George Williams, East Orange football great, no doubt. D Parks is in the building. Who else we got? Classic basketball DVDs is in the building. Robert Swinney Jr. in the building. JT's in the building. William Cuff.
Yep.
Tasha Jackson was in the building earlier. Aaron Rice is in the building. Frankie Burnett's in the building. My man Thurston Howell, 2 L's up is, you know how we do. But yeah, man, that was dope. That was
definitely
awesome.
Dope, man. And even beyond that, man, coming from East Orange, man, and just, his journey through the league, man, as a whole, man, just another, brother that came from where we all came from, man, and got out there and did his thing, man, and became successful at it, man. So it's great to see, another hometown hero, man, on television, man. It's great, man. Mm-hmm. And now I'm not saying that everybody should chase to be on television, but
Yeah. I like the way he put it in terms of that was his dream, that wasn't his goal.
Yeah.
Right. So he situated his life where he didn't need basketball, but it just so happened he was prepared for the opportunity once it presented itself. And that's a lesson for everybody, no matter what stage of life you at. Preparedness breeds opportunity, and if you're ready for it, you get to make choices. So.
And also too, the way that he broke it down, man, about about finding your niche to be needed, and that's not just in sports, that's in anything too as well, man. Make yourself available, but also make yourself needed, man, because people need services, man. And if you can stand out for a service for someone, you're valuable, man.
Yeah, you always got to create value. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Create value.
Yeah.
Yo, and Wes, that was dope. That question about Mike, Kobe, and LeBron.
Yeah.
To get that level of perspective. On
really
that,
dope.
Transcends generations and puts those players in a proper light. That was dope, bro. That was a dope question.
Really dope.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So we know who's out of the West. What y'all think about the last game or the last series that took place between the Clippers and the Suns? And
I knew it was over. I knew it was over.
Yeah,
I knew it was gonna be over. Yeah.
Even going
I
back,
thought
even going back to LA.
Yeah, I thought it was. It should have been over the game before that. You know, Clippers came out flat. I mean, not the Clippers. The Suns came out flat, and I knew they wasn't going. Chris Paul wasn't having that the second time around. He wasn't having that. And when we talked about, you know, that assassin, we got an assassin in the making with Devin Booker, man. So they wasn't having that, man. They wasn't having that. I knew it was over. Clippers was just, you know, it was just the gas was running out. The tank was empty, man.
Yeah, the day the tank was empty, but I'm a you know, again, I gotta when somebody does something different, I gotta give him his flowers. And I was a critic of Reggie Jackson, but I'm a fan now.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Just a fan.
He balled.
Like,
he balled
out, and he owned his career. Like last night on his podium, he was just like, you know, I was gonna be out the league if I didn't come here. You know what I'm saying? So he just spoke about the realness of being an NBA player and letting the opportunity slip by all these years. And year 10, that's how you said it. This is year 10. So for him to play that way, and then, you know, just keep it 100 like he did.
Yeah, he did.
Kudos to him. Yep.
Yeah, I like, you know, like you said, like the emotions from him and everything, man. He spilled it out, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Nah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't come that far, man. Like he said, man, you could tell that, you know, his whole thing was, you know, his journey. You felt his journey when he was talking about it, man.
Felt it all.
And also too, what I did notice also too with that series, man, is how good of a coach Ty Lue is.
Ty Lue's an excellent coach.
He is an excellent coach, man. Like really, really, really good, man.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So, you know, last series we got very physical. You know, we talked about Pat Bev, but like just across the board, it was a lot of, you know, the physicality was next level. It was reminiscent of 90s basketball a little bit. I just want to, you know, play a little clip for our fans just to so you see exactly how physical it got.
Oh no.
Man.
Oh man.
Yeah, you know, it's just it gave it to Chris Paul, you know, for the whole series. He was just
Chris Paul got the last laugh last night because Chris Paul gave it to everybody last night.
41 points.
Times. 41.
Yes.
That's pretty funny though. That's pretty funny.
You know, try to keep it lively over here on Madison Sports. You know, a little something different there now.
It happens. It happens now and then, man. It happens to the best of them out there, Hot. You know, everybody. You know, throughout the time you play long enough, you'll get caught out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Somebody will cross you up, or somebody will dunk on you. It'll happen, man.
He got your man Pat Bev though. He bridged him. You know what I'm saying? That was I don't know, was that dirty? Y'all think that was dirty, or was that just incidental contact? And he, you know,
when Pat Bev undercut him.
He ended up on his back.
I don't. You know what? I think the bigger problem I had with it, whether it was dirty or not dirty, was the antics that Pat Bev gave when he's the biggest flopper.
Exactly.
Okay. So you know, for him to make fun of somebody when he already got fined. I think he's the second in the league in fines for flopping. It just makes it a mockery. So
yeah, he was looking stupid with that, man.
That was really.
It's like, stop it, Pat. Like you, Pat Bev. Like, all you do is flop, man, and do that. And you're a borderline dirty player, man. Like, I'm a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say dirty, but you're a borderline player, and you step over the line a lot, man. And you do a lot of craziness out there, man.
I think he is a dirty player because he walks a line and he knows the line he's walking. Right?
He's a player.
But Chris Paul is not much better though. That's the whole thing.
He's not, and I get it because they both, you know, small guys out there in the Giants land, and they pit bulls. I get it, but you know, I don't think that particular, like you said, the clip of him, like the clip him in the air, he didn't do that on purpose. He was fighting around the pick. But like Wes said, you know, the antics that go after it makes it feel like it was dirty because why would you mock it, man?
Yeah. Yeah,
why would you mock it? Like you literally, like the dude could have literally fell on his neck or something. Like you clipped him in the air.
Yeah, nobody's flopping to fall on your back. Like nobody's
No, not to be falling that hard. No, you ain't flopping for that.
No, you're not doing that.
I still see Pat Bev walking around Vegas when Kawhi signed, and he was walking around Vegas like he owned the casinos, talking about it was Golden State's time for the last 5 years. Now it's my time.
He didn't say the Clippers. He said my time.
He said my time.
Wow,
he's 3 years into my time.
My time, like Jesus.
Can't even get to the chip. Yeah, but so yeah, not Houston, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Hearts with Atlanta. You know, the head is with Milwaukee, but I think Milwaukee's all dependent on Chris Middleton at this point.
Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, I would love Atlanta to get to the finals, get Trae Young healthy, and have Nate McMillan and Monty Williams coaching in the finals would be a lovely thing. Mm-hmm. For me, Milwaukee, this is their only chance to get it. If they're gonna get it, they better do it now. But they don't want it, man. So it's hard to root for them. They're the most talented team out of all the teams, but they just don't want it to me. Like it seems like they just too Jekyll and Hyde. Like one game, Middleton shows up and Holiday does it. Next game is vice versa. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like you want to root for Giannis to get a ring so they can stop talking about it with him and back up the MVPs. Mm-hmm. But sometimes your ship sails and there's a bunch of new cats, Devin Booker and Trae Young, and saying, "Hey, you had your chance, Giannis. We coming to take it."
And to me, man, like Milwaukee frustrates me, man. Like you said, Wes, man, like their shot selections, man. I'll be looking at them like, what are y'all doing? Like you got Brook Lopez just sitting out on the 3-point line, just launching threes, and it's just, and Drew Holiday, man, like he's tough, but he don't need to be shooting all those threes because he's not a good 3-point shooter, man. Go and take him to the basket, Drew. You could finish around the rim with both hands. Do that. Middleton has a pretty good mid-range. Play it more, man. I don't, man. Listen, man.
I feel the same way with them. It's like you want to root for them, but they're the most talented, like I said, but they just don't bring it every night.
They don't, man. And to be honest, I would rather see like the good story, to be honest, is Nate McMillan and Monty against each other. Yeah. It don't even matter at the end of the day. Phoenix winning the chip, yo.
Yeah.
I don't care who go. Yeah. Phoenix is nobody. Neither one of them beating Phoenix.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, and Phoenix looks like a really solid team through and through.
They got every level, man. They got every level covered.
Well, and they don't have no injuries.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
And they're the last man standing. They don't have no injuries, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so think about it. If Atlanta makes it there, they hobbling in. DeAndre Hunter already out. I'm not watching. I'm sure the game started by now, but they have said Capella might not play tonight. He might be injured. So he may be out tonight.
Yeah.
And then you already got Giannis with the knee over there, and you already had DiVincenzo out with them. So it's just like everybody else is just almost like hobbling in or backing up in there, and Phoenix is sitting there like, okay, fine.
And they get rest.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see, hopefully Atlanta could pull it out. Them get healthy, Trae get healthy, and really put up a good showing against Phoenix. That would be a really good series, I think. Again, I'm rooting for Atlanta, but the head says either Milwaukee out of the East, and they do manage to get out of the East, Phoenix out of to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about what do you guys think about the Chauncey Billups scenario? How he can be something that happened 24 years ago that he was never charged for, and no other issues, and then all of a sudden he gets a head coaching job, and people are actually talking about it like it was a bad hire to do something like that, when not only did they say there's other viable coaches and they named Mike D'Antoni that should have got a shot, but they're also talking about the female issue because of Becky Hammon and relating it to the abuse part, saying he got a sexual abuser and then you overlook a woman at the same time. I was really disappointed in how they've been treating this situation, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, I'm disappointed all the way around. It's sad because he was never charged with anything. And he's been in the league, successful, model citizen, model athlete, the face of the league during those Detroit years, definitely the face of the Detroit Pistons. He's an assistant coach. He's worked on the ESPN staff. Like, he's just Chauncey, very much is the epitome of what you want a young man to be. For them to go back to 1997 and put that on him, I think it's just sad. It's sick.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's sick. It's so wrong.
Yep.
To see ESPN participate in that nonsense.
Yep.
It's sick. I didn't see Stephen A. Smith's exact comments, but from what I hear in his framing of it, it's sad. It's like, come on, man, we have to be better than this. Chauncey deserves much better. We as black men deserve much better than that. And
it was sad. I mean, he's a father of 3 daughters, married. That happened 24 years ago. He was 19 years old, 20, I don't know, but just the whole thing. It's like, it's a sad state when they have to bring it up. And even for Jason Kidd, for them to bring that up with him again, he's had 2 other head coaching jobs before. So the fact that that's still a story, and his issue was in 2001. So, it's bugged out how they get down with it. And then I sent you that text yesterday. We get on the flip side of it, and they got the kid, Trevor Bauer, the pitcher. They got graphic details about what he did to a female, and you barely can find it on ESPN's website. It's there.
He violently raped her.
Yeah, beat her up.
Beat her up. Gave her drugs. She passed out. She woke up. He was raping her.
Yeah.
Like, it's sick. And this is something that the organization, people are aware of, but it's not on Front Street. Every news channel is not covering it. It's not mainstream news.
And ESPN is not talking about how serious this crime is. And, it is pretty serious to me, but you can't get them to talk about it. So it's just bugged out. That's all. We don't know how it goes, but it's just bugged out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. It's sad. But yeah,
I want Chauncey Billups to keep his job and do well. I want Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd is in a good scenario in Dallas. I want him to do well as well. And I hope they give Sam Cassell an opportunity sooner or later.
Yeah. I think Sam Cassell is next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good to see.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So there's a game on right now.
Yep.
We got Hawks is down by 15.
Yeah.
We need to go check that out. So, I think it was a great show today, and we're gonna try to do it even better next weekend and going forward.
Absolutely.
This is IZM Sports. Hakeem Green, Wes Henderson, KG, Uncle Spliffy's in the air going somewhere. But that's what it is. Salute, y'all. Peace to everybody for checking in with us.
Have a good one.
All right.